Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are back on the Citadel here in the heart of Westhill. And we're going to be working on this bridge and the road that goes west today. I'm not sure how much of the road we're going to be working on. I really want to get the bridge done. So we're going to kind of measure out what might be a good span for the bridge. We've got a rough idea in there now. I also have to figure out how it's going to tie into the wall, if at all. I don't know if I'm going to keep this tower or if we're going to round things out. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But the main thing is getting the bridge in and the, I guess, overall construction sorted out. If you're new to the channel, I stream full time. I do 2 podcasts, the Citadel Cafe and the Spawn Chunks. And we are, I think, ready to go here. I think I set myself up at the end of the last stream to just kind of pick up and go straight out there. Cosmic, Kel, Dan, good to see everybody. 6 minutes ago, Dan Grice with a tier 1 sub, 25 months. Thanks so much, Dan. Very much appreciate the support. Oh, there's going to be lots of terrain changes, Meadow. Yeah, lots of terrain changes. It's pretty bare, right? And this chunk at the top is going to go too. So the nice thing about this is that there's absolutely nothing out here to be in our way. So we can just set up shop like right here, which is fantastic. And I think we'll do this stuff on this side. I'm going to move Tough. No, not that. Yeah. Tough we'll put over by the cobblestone. So you can see along here, we've got the basics kind of laid out where I've got a couple of stone pillars for the ends, and they may or may not remain that size. We may change that. You can also sort of see how we've got this small tower, which I did spend a fair amount of time on, guarding this small river gate. And there is going to be this passage here that technically you could get around. So it could be some landscaping. It could be a matter of making it a jagged stone cliff that just seems like impossible to get by. We could have another tower here that connects. We could push this tower for the bridge back here and then have this connect with a wall. I really don't know as of yet. I do know that I want the road to go along here. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab some cobblestone and some torches, and we're going to lay out kind of like a rough path for the road, just to kind of give us an idea of where I want things to go. Oh yeah, I've not touched anything. I think the only thing that I've touched along here is these cobblestone pillars and the west side of the river, like the bank. That's it. All right, so obviously we're gonna go here. And I would say we're just gonna cut this right down. And then this naturally feels like it comes to about here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's about right. I'd like to have this view from the edge of the road. I think that looks pretty good. And then where is the top? Right. I think this is pretty good too. So we'll want to get to about here. I'm not worried about vertical. I'm worried about just north and south situation. So I think we'll probably bring it over this way a little bit. And then probably about here. Right. So you'll come up the bridge. You'll exit straight, giving us room to do towers or whatever. Maybe we do like a western gate. Who knows, right? And then you'll curve yourself away this way, kind of hinting that you should look to your south. And then when you get up here, we want to round and point a little bit more this way so that then we can find a way to get down here. And maybe there's a switchback trail. I don't know. It's a little bit steep right now. But eventually, I'd like it to come over here and go through this, which is a little bit wonky, but ultimately pretty cool. And I think we could make some sort of interesting kind of Western approach over here. And then this would just end and the road would continue off into the distance and maybe somebody else builds a fantasy town over there or something like that. But I think that gives us an idea of what we want this. Yeah, this is all natural. I didn't do any of this. This is all just Minecraft generation. And we can end up doing some landscaping here and dropping this down a lot more gradual, but I feel like maybe a switchback trail would be interesting. It would certainly be more defensive too, because it would provide some more, slow down for any kind of bad guys approaching from the side. The trick would be, how do we keep this from making, easy access to the town? And the more I look at it, the more I think we're going to need to have some sort of tower here, or maybe a gate or something. That said, this all has to go. I will build a flower kingdom beyond the road, says Cosmic. Well, it's kind of an ugly biome. It's all spruce. I think you'd have to see what was out there. It goes spruce. I'm pretty sure it goes into like winter, like tundra. So you might want to think about the biome. Wow. Mining deja vu, cutting out 1 by 2 areas of stone. More grass, just what you needed. Yeah, right? Exactly what we needed. So I think for now, so I don't have to store all the grass, I'm just going to replace the top layer of this. I'm sure we will end up using the stone, so that's not a big deal. Upon further investigation, I retract my comment about a Flower Kingdom. Yeah, it would not be the nicest, I don't think. I may want to cut that down by one more. We'll have to see. The bridge, I think, has to be constructed before I actually decide on how deep it's going to go. I think a flower kingdom is a great idea, Cosmic. Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking that there might be prettier biomes that you could use for it. What is that? Oh, that's the other fast travel point. There's also other meadow biomes like up north too. I should just, once we update to 1.20, I should just explore the entire continent of the medieval kingdom, and then just kind of provide like a map to everybody. That'd be kind of cool. I do like a good map. All right, so we're going to imagine that we're coming across a bridge here, and we'll be able to do slabs and stairs. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that this dirt level is probably going to get removed. Let's just go ahead. We'll have to check out the road at night too, because those torches will light it up and make it look kind of cool. Actually, kind of gives me an idea. Yeah, I think a great big boulder or something there is kind of a cool thought. Maybe not that tall. Yeah, the minty green is not an easy biome to work with, so if you're going to do all kinds of custom flowers and things, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to trying is like a sci-fi biome where I can make up my own oversized flowers, similar to like what Pearlescent Moon has done on this season of Hermitcraft. She's done mostly I think mushrooms and things, but I think it'd be really fun to come up with some different ideas. So let's just make sure we're not making life more difficult for us. Yeah, I think we can probably cut a little bit of this back, but not all of it. So we'll create like a larger sort of space. Replant what flowers? Were there flowers? I didn't see any flowers. Oh, I picked up 2 dandelions. You're right. So we'll leave it there for now. Get rid of this stone. And then we'll work on the bridge, and then the grass will kind of fill itself in. I mean, we're going to replace some of this with proper cobble work and all that kind of stuff later on anyway. I just need like a proper canvas, I guess, to work from when I start new builds. You'll notice that I'm not making everything super flat either. Like, I'm trying to keep the spirit of what Minecraft gave us in terms of the world generation. Because I find that when you make everything super flat, it just gets boring. VSB Meza subscribing at tier 1, 9 months. That is the Fire Keystone badge. My favorite. Thanks very much, Meza. Hope things are well for you. I was just watching some Satisfactory videos the other day. Watching I Am Kibitz doing some crazy stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that whenever I decide that it's time to take a break from Westhill and start playing some Satisfactory. I might be waiting for update 8. I'm not really sure. So this is probably going to move to like there. Haven't even played update 6. You'll wait until 1.0. Yeah, I think you mentioned it the last time we were chatting. Okay. I think that's pretty good. So now the challenge becomes figuring out the arc of the bridge. So we're not going to drop anything here. So we're going to continue this out this way, at least to here. I'm doing well, thanks, Meza. Doing well. Keeping busy. I've been streaming almost every day. Certainly almost every day in March. I don't know if I've taken any unscheduled days off in April. So what I'm envisioning here is like a gentle arch up, and that was going to mean an increase probably in the length of this, because right now we are at 70 and we need to get to 78, and we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's like every 2 blocks. Yeah. We need to expand that. So an increase in To grab some other blocks here. Oh, you know what was in that shulker box that I get rid of? Was smooth stone. The one that I trashed by accident. That's what was in that. Do I not have furnaces out here? That's right, I'll make some. Oh, hold on. Before I sleep, I want to look at the map so you can kind of see where the road's going to go. Kind of a little bit of an S-curve. Let's see the plan. This one might be a little bit too far south, but you'll sort of see what's going on there. The only design that I have in mind for the Bridge Cosmic is I'm going to use the same block palette as this east bridge because I really like it. So this bridge here is very simple. It's very kind of utilitarian. We're not going to do spans like this. It's going to be pillars. I think it's going to be 3x3 pillars. And there's probably only going to be 4 of them. So we'll have to see. It's probably going to be a lot thicker in this area. Like it's not going to be such a thin... The arches are going to be lower. But we have the advantage of it's already quite high. Like we're starting, what, 6 or 8 blocks above the water? So we can make a fairly thick bridge, but still have a very tall... You know, like we're already clear of it by a great deal, right? So having it up here, we can make this kind of chunky. Yeah, I was not being super careful. So I think we're going to have to make this longer because I've got at least 8 blocks, probably 7 vertically. And so we're going to need to make this at least 21, if not 28 blocks long. One ran out. That's 20. I'm using these because they're easy to see. Easy to count, too. That was 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think we might have to push this back to here. So these would be the mid columns, not the end columns, would be my guess. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 8 is there. And we want to, I guess these need to go in the ground. I may have just messed it up again. We'll start the count from down there. So I may have to bring up plots.co.uk in order to figure this out. But essentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd want at least 5, I would think. How wide is this thing? 7. Oh wait, those are need to be bigger. What am I doing? Okay. So we'd want this to be at least 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'd start to go down in sections. Gonna use slabs as well, because we have to do with the half measures. 1, 2, 3. I'd imagine we were going to go up probably like 3 there. This may be harder than it looks. Welcome to this week's edition of Counting with Joel. Yeah. Yeah, so that needs to be a little bit steeper off the start, I think. I think we'll get there. It's a long way to go. I'm also realizing that I'm counting with half steps instead of full blocks. Yeah, we might have to lower this another block to make this a little bit easier. Unfortunately, if we just go up in sections of 2, it's just going to feel like a straight line. It's not going to feel like an actual arch. Although, I guess we could make the deck of the bridge flat. And then have the underside of it be the part that has the arch to it, maybe? So right away you can see my issue. That we were running out of space. And then we get to here. So that is not an arch at all. It's just a straight line. That could be interesting, you know. We could end up with some cool sort of like pass between the tower moments going up in a straight line like that. Texturing it will be a pain in the butt. You know, that's not bad. That's not bad. I may elongate it a little bit just to kind of see what we can get out of it. 1, 2, start here. Yeah, so here we could even start to push it a little bit and do sections of 3. That does get us a little bit closer, but I might have to push that back a little bit. Whoops. So I think I might have to... I don't think I want this to go up in sections of 1. I feel like that would be a little bit too steep. It's not bad. It's not awful if we only did it a little bit, just to kind of get things going. So if we just go up by whole blocks once or twice. So this is a whole block there. And then we switch to 2s. And then I can rip all this out. And switch back here. And maybe start the 3s here. That feels a little bit better. Hopefully that looks okay. It's going to be hard to see the full cross section of it. I kind of wonder whether this has to go right up to the edge. I kind of wonder if that's the case. Like this weird little flat section here kind of feels funny, these 2 blocks. I'm wondering if we just brought that back, if that would work. Will always fascinate me how you can just see the shape of how it will work in your head. So really I'm just imagining, you know, think about it like an oval, So not a circle, but an oval. And I'm just imagining like half of it. And it's just a gradual thing. I think I've got another bridge that's sort of like this on a much smaller scale. Right, so there's two arches here. But so like it's a high point there and a low point there. So the peak of the arch is closer to that side. And so then you get this slope that comes down. I'm just trying to remember how I actually built the deck of this. Right, so the deck is a different shape than the underside. So this is one smooth arch. This bridge took a while too. I remember trying to figure this out. This is one smooth arch walking over the top of it, but the supports are like a letter M, but just kind of lopsided. So if we go back over here, sometimes it helps to look at things from a different angle too. Yeah, this feels a little bit funny. I'd be tempted to remove these and then do 2. But then that to me feels like it's too close. I feel like the section between the columns has to be flat. Not that we can't move the columns, right? We could always push the columns back too. That's why they're just temporary looking things. Maybe that's the trick. It would only be a couple of blocks. Well, we might as well just use stone rather than cobble that I'm going to have to remove anyway. One, two, three, four, 5. And we could always have the base of these be fatter too, right? Like maybe this bottom part stays exactly where it is. Nope, this would not be here. Aldebar, thanks very much for the work and the lurk. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Do the same thing over here. Right. So I'm okay with this height maybe for the towers, but then we'll have to make up for the road changes later on down the line. So we might be okay with this as our final destination, which is a full block lower than what I was planning at 77. So what does that give us as a span then? I hope that's going to look okay. I might have to build out like a sample deck just to kind of get a beat on that. That's probably going to look all right. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 25, 28, and then another 5 here maybe. So that's a total of 32. No, 33. Odd numbers are good. This is one of my favorite stages of a build, is working out like where everything's going to be, and if you have to adjust anything, you're just adjusting framework, you know, so it's quick. I feel like you make a lot of progress in just a short amount of time. Oh, it's not an acronym that you've seen before, Meadow, because we completely made it up. All right, so let's just see how that feels. And let's take these out. Kind of a cool view as well. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't work. How did I mess that up? Oh, this is supposed to be lower. That's what I did. I'm on 77. Right. So, but what I'm doing is I'm sectioning off the areas that are going to go between the main towers. See how that feels. So we've got, we could make this 3. Oh, no, that doesn't work. I was hoping to try and change this a bit. That's 5, that's 3. I guess this is going to be extended. I was hoping to make this, this could be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This stays 3. Just so it's a little bit more gradual. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do we have 6? Oh, because I didn't shorten the towers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 3, and then 2. So it slowly gets steeper. So not counting the 5 that are in here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 23, 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 31. So now we just need, what's that? 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the middle. Right there. And that should still work for towers, I think. So I'll double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good, good, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. So that means that this is the dead middle. And where we would put our middle columns. And they are going to be right on the edge, which is probably going to work out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means these guys are not going to stay. Did everybody follow what I did there? I basically just made sure I had an odd number on the bridge span, and then I found the middle, and that's where I'm putting the mid support. Your favorite episode of Counting with Joel? Well, I think the bigger Counting with Joel streams are the ones when I play Satisfactory, which I've definitely been thinking about a lot lately because of watching some stuff on YouTube. I want to try to get back into it a little bit before the next update, just so I'm not completely lost. Landscaping around here is going to be a pain in the butt. At least we've got it connected, and I don't have to fly around with the elytra to get from the top of the bridge to the bottom of the bridge. We can just run it. I find that's a lot more convenient. You can see where I started to make like a little cliff here. Although the landscaping is definitely going to involve scaffolding, that's for sure. One last little bit to get rid of. So this should give us kind of like the full blueprint of what I want to do. And I'm really going to just steal how we designed the other bridge. I think that'll be pretty straightforward. So these look a little bit wonky, but you got to remember that these parts are lower. You can kind of see the blueprint of the big towers, the small towers in the middle, and they could be expanded to be 5 by 5. They don't have to stay 3 by 3, and we might change them depending on whether they look sturdy enough. But this is where I look at this other tower and I think this is really close to this. And I wonder whether it would be best or a good option to make this like larger maybe. Because it would be dead simple to attach a wall that would run from here right along to there. We could even make that a little taller. Let's go down and look at it from over here. Right, so that's a small section. And a little wall like that could fit in there quite nicely. The only thing I think would have to happen was that we might have to beef this up a little bit. And this has always felt a little bit strange to me. It looks weird on the map. It looks weird just from the road. I mean, maybe we bypass it entirely. I mean, I hate to destroy something, but maybe we take this wall and we just run it right up to there. But that could be interesting because then it could make this bridge a little bit more gate-like at this end. And then, of course, we've got to take this back by at least 5 blocks. Thanks very much for the follows, folks. Appreciate it. Hey, Joel, build a break and take it. Okay, I think I will. And we'll... Oh, case in point. He says take a break. We're going to take a break. If you're new to the channel, I take a break once an hour. It is that time right now. We'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Hello, Raiders! Pixel Riffs, thanks so much. I think my Twitch told me you were playing Elden Ring today. I think. Oh, we don't have any weapons. They're all over here. We're gonna have to be careful. Oh, you're playing Minecraft. Cool. What were you doing in Minecraft? Today's Wednesday, right? Minecraft today, Elden Ring was yesterday, building bits of the castle, a quick MC Bingo run. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I saw your video was out, but I haven't watched it yet. We're building a bridge just outside of the town here. And it's also very dark, so at night we get friends. But that's okay, because we need to repair things like the Elytra. And free string. Folks, if you're not aware, I mean, obviously coming in, most people on Pix's stream would know, but if you're in mine and new, you might not know that Pixelriffs is my co-host and co-producer partner on the Spunchunks podcast. New episode out this week, and new episodes out every Monday. That's at thespunchunks.com. Be sure to go follow Pixelriffs on Twitch. Combination lately of Minecraft Bingo, Minecraft on the Empire server, and Elden Ring with it's Zloy XP, I think, is the Elden Ring buddy. So this is going to be a challenging connection. So we've just kind of laid out the blueprints for a bridge that are going here outside of my medieval town, and we'll get up a little bit higher so folks can see. This is 2.5 years of building all coming together, and we're working on this bridge right here, and this road is going to go west. The torches kind of mark where it's going, so we're kind of getting to the point where we're putting in some of the, I guess, countryside infrastructure, and the bridge that we're kind of, I guess, decorating this or using the same block palette as is this bridge over here. It's very simple, just stone and andesite and some smooth stone along the edges. Pretty straightforward and connects in a very simple way. So we're going to do something similar. Obviously it's a bigger bridge over this way, so we're going to add some extra supports. Should be cool. But welcome in, everyone. I appreciate you sticking around. I'm sure that you were already watching Pix for quite some time, so scooch your chair in. And if you wouldn't mind flipping over and watching on twitch.tv/JoelDuggan, then that would be fantastic. We're trying to increase the viewership on the channel, and the more people that are watching raw on twitch.tv/JoelDuggan, then the better chances of Twitch recommending the stream to other people. Thanks very much for the follows as well. Very much appreciate it. So here, just to quickly recap, you've only missed the first hour of the stream. And what we did was we had previously set up pillars here and pillars right about here. We've since moved the other pillars back because of how much height we had to accomplish. And then we kind of built in a gradual arch. And so it starts going up by half slabs every 2 blocks for a bit. And then it switches to 3 blocks here, then 5, then 5, and that's the end. And so it feels pretty good. It might feel a little bit different once we get all the blocks in, but for now, I think we're solid. And I think I can start to remove some of these bits as well and focus on a little bit of the block selection. So we'll get rid of this. I think we're going to drop this down by 2. Whoops. So what I tend to do is I tend to do things in frames, and then I tend to fill things in and kind of choose blocks and make different texture selections after I've made sure that the structure is not going to move anymore. And have I made enough? Yep. Okay. That's going to move back. That's probably okay. Actually, we'll push this back. Yeah. Max Doherty subscribing with Prime, 2 months. That's the Earth Keystone badge. Westhill is a huge inspiration for me. Thanks for sharing the process. You're very welcome. Thanks very much for the compliment. I'm glad that you find it inspiring. And for folks that might want to see more of the process, you can check out the Joe Duggan VODs channel. So we're going to need a lot more of these and a lot more of these. So let's build out. Oops, I just did the exact same thing. I want those. And try to do this without wasting too much time or blocks. So I'm just going to use half slabs where I can, and probably some dirt here and there. Oops. Oh, here we can probably do that, and then... All right, that comes up to the edge of that. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. New to the stream, follow the raid over like what I see. I'm amazed at builders who start and stick with multi-year projects. Well, thanks very much. Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty patient person by nature, so I have that to my advantage. But it definitely does take some persistence, perseverance. Just, you have to really like what you're doing too. All right, so that is one part of the profile. So we'll get rid of the dirt. Check to see what this looks like. No, I build everything on the fly. I don't like building things twice. There are times when I've gone into like a redstone creative world to try and figure things out, but most of the time I really try to stick to just doing things my own way. It does lead to some time-consuming stuff, but it's also content, right? I mean, if I'm working through something and people can watch me work through it, then maybe they learn something. If I have all that, you know, work off, you know, stream, not accessible to people, then I'm just cannibalizing my own content at that point, right? Now, what did I do over there? I think it comes down by this much. Now some of these might be changed into stairs. We're just kind of roughing out the basics here. And we'll come back and texture all this and make it look purty. I feel like I went down a lot farther there, didn't I? Yeah, there are 3 steps. So there's a level here. It may or may not stay that thick at the bottom. We'll have to see. I just want it to feel like it's got a good anchor point. You know, it's like as this comes down, I want it to feel like there's something to accept it, if that makes sense. Would you say you put about 20 hours of Minecraft work a week? I would say lately it's been more than that. 3 times 6. Well, no, yeah, I get 18 to 20. Yeah. I mean, it's my job, so there's that. Some of my resources are self-made. Some of my resources are things I've pulled from other players, but I've also tweaked them as well. I tend to like to tinker. So there's that. I think the next thing I want to try and put in is going to be these towers. I think we'll just do this from the bottom. So this is going to be one here. Whoops. I don't know how tall these are going to be. Probably a little bit past the deck. Free stuff. And this area here, I think, is going to be kind of like a wetlands, but we haven't finished that yet. Ah, those might end up having to be a 5x5, but for now we'll see what we can do. They're going to be at least that tall, if not a block and a half. There's a hole there, which I just found very quickly. Where's McScrewgunn when you need him? Very cool. I always like adjusting things with resource packs and mods. Get a better feel for the game. Yeah, I just tweak little things, you know, like our hay bales are a nicer color. The dirt slab is a good one. I don't know if I have any around here. Yeah, so something like dirt slabs come in handy. Custom wheat texture. Most of the time I don't change blocks. Most of the time I change like plants or tools or things like that. We've got a custom beetroot texture. It actually looks like beets in the real world. Carrots are normal. Potatoes are custom. Potatoes look like real world potatoes too. Those are the potatoes. I don't see any hay bales. Oh, there they are. Yeah, so that's the custom hay bale texture. That feels okay to walk by. I don't think I'd want it to be too much taller, because we're probably going to have to put a light source or something on top of this, would be my guess. And the question is, do I want this to be bigger? No one, just me. Clever username. Thanks very much for the follow. All right. That's a 5x5. Yeah, I think having things that close and not putting a wall between them is just weird. But it might be an odd angle, so we might have to think about that. Yeah, it's doable. It's doable. It would be pretty steep. The question is for me whether or not I want that to be bigger. All right, let's put in some wireframes and see. I'm gonna need more of this. So as we pass between this, we could turn this into a gate of sorts. And one way to, so this angle is pretty steep. One way to change that would be to turn this into a 7x7. And then also worry about how tall these are going to be. And we could make them asymmetrical. So like one side doesn't have to be the same height as the other. But if I'm coming through here, whatever that height is, 6 blocks. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll go with that. I think I mentioned earlier, this is my favorite part of this process, is this wireframe, quick adjustments, and trying to make things look like they're all going to fit. And then it's really satisfying once you've done all that to fill in all the details and have it look like a finished build. And you're saving yourself a lot of time, because if you start just building straight on the deck and then you decide, crap, I need to move these towers, then you're going to adjust the whole deck. So by doing a lot of planning and a lot of back and forth, you can usually save yourself a little bit of time. Yeah, I don't think I'd want that any taller. If we decided to put a walkway across there, then it's still plenty of room vertically. I think I like the bigger tower. It certainly looks a little bit beefier on the map, but I think I might like it. So let's take that maybe 2 blocks taller, so we'll go up 9 and see what's going on there. So we've got 2 there already, so we'll have to go up by 7. Out of stuff. This, of course, makes this a much taller tower because it's going to reach much farther down. That's kind of cool. I kind of wonder whether I've put that on the wrong side, but whatever. Do you find framing like this only works on these bigger builds, or do you think it works in smaller builds too? Oh, smaller builds can help considerably, because when you start framing smaller builds, then you very quickly realize, oh crap, I've not left myself enough space inside. Which, with smaller builds, I tend not to frame so much as I do, I do kind of build from the inside out. So it's less of a frame and it's more of like a floor plan first. Right? So that feels a little bit chunky. I like the height of it. I'm wondering if we have to bring it back down. I think to start to get the feel of this, though, we're going to have to put in the other side of the deck, and I'm going to have to put in this other tower. It does sort of block the view of the mountain. Yeah, we're going to have to cut this back, I think. As far as the approach coming in from the road, so if you're approaching the town from the west and you're coming in what will be the West Road, or the West Ridge Road, I guess. It feels like I am pushing you off to the side a little bit here, aren't I? I might have to adjust this a little bit to the... I feel like this is a little bit too far to the right here. I think I might have to push it a little bit farther this way. You do get a little bit of a reveal as you come through here, which is nice, but it's an odd experience. And this is just one of the things where you have to roll with the punches in what you've spent all this time developing, and now I'm trying to figure out. If I kind of wonder whether this would be better if I had bridge turrets that were the same size and like a third tower. Like, what if that would cut down on the wall size too? And what if I had something there? That could be a good way to go. It just it feels funny, right? Like, this doesn't look super good. Right? I'm not alone in that. It feels weird. I think I'm okay with the asymmetrical height. It's just the footprint of it that's a little bit weird now. It's not to say that we couldn't push it out at the bottom and make it like a heavier bottom tower. Yeah, maybe some asymmetry in that respect is going to be what we need. Because already that feels better, right? And but it's funny, just 2 blocks was covering up so much of the mountain, but now you get to see that mountain all the way until about here. And I think it's a bit better feeling. And we could still add something onto this too, right? Like I could remove all of this now. Now all the towers on this town are pretty much square. I don't think I've done any round towers. Sort of there, but like very rarely. All the main wall towers are definitely square. Yeah, it's funny how 2 blocks, which I guess is like 6 meters, so it makes a difference. But it's funny how that adds up very quickly, right? Whoops. And there's a cave like over here, and I'm wondering if we might be able to get into it through some secret ways. Just fun little passages and stuff we could do. I need more stone slabs, I think. All right, let's take these down. I really like how these are in the water. And only just, so it's not going to affect the width of the river by much. Which is cool. And we will fill these in. It's just a matter of getting this stuff done quickly for now. Interested to see how to connect a secret tunnel? Yeah, I'm not really sure because there's a cave. There's a big cave over here. Get it marked somewhere. Yeah, here. So this goes all down. Oh, wait a minute. This is not what I'm thinking of. Where is it? Oh yeah, that's a pretty big cave. But there's another one. I want to say it's underneath the wetlands, like right over there. I'm wondering if we could have like a secret passageway like under the bridge somehow. That could be kind of fun too. But like down the line. Problems for other days. Problems for other days. All right, so we'll go up by another half block again. And that's pretty much the framework in, right? So you get an idea about what it's going to feel like. So the next thing, I guess, would be the underside. I think I need to remove some of that grass so we can really see what's going on. Idea for a future Joel. I think it's an idea for, like, one of the things I like about the way that we've set up the server is that whenever I get the inkling to come back and do some medieval stuff, I can just come back and add to an already cool looking build, and it will just like emphasize, you know, what's already here, and that's really fun. So every time you want to do something medieval, I now no longer have to start from scratch. Like, I can build a farm, I can do a bunch of really cool stuff. This was also throwing me off. Sleep time. So you can very clearly see the bridge now. And we will have to cut this back. So let's go, let's just focus on this part here on the south ridge. So we've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we'll bring that right around to the rock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll do 3, 2. After a while, you get pretty good at just kind of like carving out landscape. That being said, I feel like the hardest thing I started off on those build zones, I wouldn't want to be the first one in a build zone. Yeah, that can be challenging, but then again, I think the thing there is just communication with server mates too, because I've had the problem of, I started off in this build zone, and because I'm able to put in so much time compared to my server mates, people feel kind of intimidated to build here. So, but I think the same sort of rules apply. Like, if you've got a very specific thing going on and you're intimidated, or you don't feel like you want to step on somebody else's toes, then I think maybe the trick there is to just don't build within render distance, right? So there's a spot like way down here, like there's a spot there for a really cool looking kingdom. There's a mountain and a flower biome, and there's river access or lake access. And that could become its own thing. And then whoever builds there doesn't have to worry about me. And then same thing, I think Hannah wanted to turn this into like a horse farm or something like that. And it's not in render distance. And even when it does become render distance close, there's a big hill here that cuts it off. So like, yeah, like she'd be building on the other side of that. And so you wouldn't be able to see it until you walked through this road that we kind of planned out with some torches, and then you'd be coming into like the horse farm area. So there's nice ways that you can kind of plan your builds to be connected with a short road, but then also your own thing, right? Well, that's why I want to make a map, Cosmic, so people can figure out like where they actually want to build. I don't know whether these things have to be taller or not. I don't know. More stone required. Speaking of resources and collection, we are less than a week away from Minecraft Legends. I will be playing that on this channel. You can look forward to myself and Pixelriffs probably playing that. I'm thinking what we're going to be doing is probably, for me, it'll be my first time playing. Pixis had early access, and I think what we'll do, sorry, I should say early access at a creator event. I think what we'll do is we might play through the campaign as like a 2-player. He's had a little bit of experience with the campaign, but not much. So I think that the two of us combined could be really cool. I'm not sure these little pillars are going to cut it, but we'll see. I've pre-installed it, so that's a good reminder for folks to double check your Minecraft launcher and update the launcher via the Windows Store if you're going to play it on Windows. Or I've also pre-installed the game on Xbox. If you've got Game Pass, you can pre-install it, or you can pre-order it and pre-install it. But I have access to both PC and Xbox because I've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which I don't utilize as much as I should. I think that's okay. We might lower these a little bit, but I think that's pretty good. I think the only thing I want to test now is attaching another tower here. So what if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is that too much? Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, what if we attached like a little lower guardhouse? I didn't make a square. I meant to make a square. That might be the ticket, and then that creates, wow, that's still pretty steep. So then this whole thing becomes a really strange sort of angle. I'd be more inclined to make an arc than 2 straight lines. I guess we could go straight. We could go straight across. Not a bad idea. And then I guess, how far do we want to go? Whoops. So I don't know about this. I'm really just spitballing. And this is, I guess, going back to what someone was asking earlier about, like, do I do templates or builds in creative? And nope. I use the techniques that I've used for years as an artist, which is to just sketch things out quickly first before committing to a big project. Canada Raz, I like the map mod too. It's very handy. I quite like the advantage it gives us. That could make sense. It's going to make this feel very funny. So I feel like I might have to redo that section. Just because I think this will be a better looking bridge. I don't know about having an extra long build, although it does feel more gate-like if I push it back that far. I just thought this is going to feel strange. Typically my house height is like 4 minimum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. But then this has to be like supported by something and it becomes kind of an issue. And then here, we'd probably have to have a tower. 1, 2, 3, 4. First time using scaffolding today. Surprise, surprise. So this wouldn't have to be out this far. We could always punch this back. Just so that it opens up a little bit nicer. Right, so sort of like a guardhouse section. But by pushing this back by 2 blocks, again, that 2 block difference, like all of a sudden, you're still not blocking the view when you come up here. You've got this tower thing. I think the only issue is this weird pointy bit that sits out over the edge. That I'm not crazy about. Yeah, that looks weird. But the other 2 bits are fine. So maybe we just need to push this back so that it also lands in the middle of the tower. What am I doing for blocks? Oh, look, free stuff. Where did I get the egg? So this is the kind of thing that I really like to strive for in Minecraft, and that I kind of, right now, I guess you could say I'm kind of feeling a really good kind of creative groove with what's going on with this build. I like kind of like the experimentation that's happening. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, perfect. Okay. That worked out well. Flower stealing. What? I missed something. Don't mind me. I just here to steal some flowers that I noticed that were near you that I wanted. Oh, sure. That's funny. So I'm thinking if we chop this down a bit and bring it into here, then it doesn't have to go nearly as far down the cliff. I'm making an absolute mess. There's blocks everywhere. Right, and get rid of this. So then this little thing could be some sort of like low like guardhouse, like really small. What is it? Like 1, 2, 3 by 4 inside. Like all of a sudden that becomes less of a giant monument on top of the hill and more of like a guard house to the gate. Although it starts to look a little bit strange. I almost fell off there. For those of you that were paying attention. The question then becomes like, do we like it, right? I think it looks interesting. I think it's got some layers, which is cool. I'm worried it might feel a little bit lopsided, but we could always add something else here to help it, right? Because it's, you sort of want it to feel like a funnel, you know? So like we could do the same thing. Maybe something smaller. Two, three, four, 5. Gonna get those other blocks I had left lying around too. I mean, it's turning into a lot larger of a project, as often does, but like when inspiration grabs you. See, here it sort of feels like it's going to catch you, you know, like it's going to really guide you coming from the west to like go through there. You know, we've got a rock here. We've got what will be a couple of big towers there. We've got this is cut off. I mean, this could just add a tree right here and all of a sudden this doesn't feel like you can walk around it, right? And then the other thing here we have to think about is the wall. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know whether this is going to feel tall enough. Does not look very tall, does it? But we've got some room. Like we could take this taller and we could start it at the top of that tower and have it end up a little bit taller. I don't know where I've got the minimum. I feel like this might be the shortest. I don't know what the shortest curtain wall tower is. That feels about right though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 seems like it's a good minimum before the top decoration. I feel like this is probably similar. I'm sure I was keeping on board with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. That's taller. This is all way taller. Yeah, this is all pretty solid. I think the closest we can get to another short one would be over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, okay. 6, I would say, would be minimum. Because it feels imposing, right? That's the idea. Yeah, again, I'm not so sure about this weird straight bit. We might want to curve that out, but we'll have to see. How close do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're only 1 block off. It's not really that bad. I guess the trick here is that it has to be 6 from the bottom, but I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I guess it feels weird because the ground is higher. Does the ground rise at a different rate? So it'll be very steep. Yeah, I guess we just have to make sure that the ground is falling away at the right rate. Because it might be just even though technically it's all 6 blocks, it could just be that the earth is making it look not as tall. It's pretty even though. We've got 2 blocks there and then it goes up and we got 2 blocks there. We also may have to change the way that it looks based on the decoration and stuff. May I offer you another break? Yes, you can. Thanks very much for the reminder, Cosmic. I can absolutely get caught up in this kind of stuff when I'm on a roll. So what has been a bridge stream has turned into a bridge and fort stream. Oh, am I out of stuff? I am out of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's all falling away at the right rate, so we'll have to figure out. Is this meant to connect to Westhill? Yep, it's right there. Westhill is right there. It feels weird. It does look very strange on the map, I will say. It does feel a little bit strange. It could also benefit from a little detail in terms of maybe it shouldn't be completely straight. You know, like maybe it should be pushed back by a block just so that there is just like a ridge like that, you know, at least once. Because it's fairly long. So like maybe about there, it goes back by a step. So we'll have to see how that works out. It feels okay. I think the issue for me is just that this tower looks kind of funny, but we can kind of come back and forth with that. Let's just get rid of some inventory stuff here. I have far too much dirt. Surprising nobody. There's my axe. Was that from today? That must have been from today. Gravel, I don't need. I definitely need more stone today. Oh, here's the smooth stone. Put those in the wrong spot. Whoops. All right, well, now we got lots. This is one of the dangers of late game Minecraft. All right, I take a break once an hour. It is absolutely that time. So I'm going to pop away for 5 or 6 minutes, refresh my water. You should too. We will be right back. Ooh, looks like it's still nighttime. So I think what I want to do now is lay out the underside of the bridge. I feel as though there has been shenanigans afoot. No signs, just floating moss blocks. It's a flower bridge, I guess. It's a suicidal flower bridge. Like you're going up to the top of that and then you're just jumping off. For one whole heart damage. It is pretty. You could do all kinds of cool stuff with that. Do I have any other? I don't have any moss blocks on me, but you could do like things like this in Somerville Cosmic. You could easily do stuff like this, right? And then 2, 3. And if you covered this the right way with like vines and stuff, like you could probably come up with some cool custom flower arches. Like maybe a little bit bigger, but you could imagine having like cave vines hanging all underneath it. If it was all moss, it wouldn't be an ugly dirt color, right? Like imagine this all being the right, you know, nice green. You could once we change the settings on the server and you have normal vines, you could have normal vines grow just as long as they want to grow. You could have glow lichen on the top of it to light it up. Like you could do some really cool stuff. Save this stuff over here. And now you want to do that. See? There you go. I kind of want to do that too, now that I've said it. All right, so the next thing is, like I said, I want to kind of make sure that this feels like it's accepting the angle here. So we're probably going to drop this down. I think the thickness of the deck of the bridge is going to be substantial. I want to say probably 3 blocks in most places. And there's going to need to be a railing. And that's really what we're going to see from the side. But I guess we can start with the main blocks. So if this is a half block and we drop down by 2, is that thick enough or does it need to be thicker? That could be good enough. And this is where scaffolding is unfortunately going to be both essential and really annoying. Be honest, you missed my annoying you during stuff last week? Sure. It's one of the things about having a multiplayer server that I like. All right, so I think I'm going to have to get rid of my original scaffolding. This cobblestone and the other blocks, just so I can clearly see what I want to do here. So we're going to have to pop down here and get rid of some of this. And by some of it, I mean all of it. All right, so that should give us a clear view. I feel like we're probably going to be okay with 2.5 blocks for the thickness. It can get thicker or thinner in other places. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be anything less, and we're not going to have enough of an arch here. So that means this would connect straight at this point here. I don't remember what block palette I used for the other. Oh, I was going to knock this back, wasn't I? I don't remember what I used underneath the other bridge. We have to go check that. Oh, no, that was supposed to be there. That centered? That's centered, yeah. Right, so that is where the bridge is going to attach. We might have to change the way that this looks so it looks sturdy. But essentially, I want a nice arc going across here. Thanks, yeah, I like how the towers go in the water too. It might be worth extending the bend in the river just a little bit to put like the edges of this in the water. We might have to do something like that. But what I essentially want to do here is I want to have a nice arch that goes across here. So if we start at the same position, we can use other blocks. Get some stairs. All right, let's go look at the other bridge. Because I did like the way that that turned out. So it's all brick all the time, with the exception of the underside of the deck. And we've got stairs into full blocks and then slabs. But that's too steep. We're going to go with a more mellow arch. And I want to say the main Westhill bridge. Yeah, this is a closer arc to what I want. So we've got stairs, a full block, and then a slab. That's probably going to be about the right arch. Stair, full block, slab. Okay. And I guess in the meantime, we can start to fill some of this in. Makes it a little bit easier to run down too. Delara, hello. All right, so here we had a stair into a full block. Followed by a slab. And then we've got 2 half blocks. And then this would end up being 1, 2. Well, we have to go straight across from here. We are at 67. That's annoying. All right, so the stair goes here. And it would go in this position. Right? And then slab. And then 2 full blocks. And then this would just be the middle. Yeah, so we've got this arc, but then we've got a smaller arc. I think I might have to drop it down a little bit, just because it's going to be a little bit strange. In terms of the layers, because I just remembered that we're going to have to bring it out. It's going to have to be out here. So it can connect to the railing, because that's going to be at least half blocks. Oh, I think these are going to be our actual full blocks, like that, and then I'm not sure how we're going to do this the right way, but it's going to be harder because of the arc. The other bridge was a lot easier to do because it was straight. Yeah, that'll be difficult to do without, unless we push it out by a block, but even then it's going to be tricky. Yeah, we're working on the bridge going to the west. Yeah. We may not be able to do that cool smooth stone railing the way that I want to. That's annoying. Yeah, that's too bad. It's because of the way that it connects. And that you can't double up on slabs, right? Rooster Mug, hello, hello. Yeah, I think I've got the right idea. I'm wondering if this is going to be better if it's all stone. Where's my slabs? Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? Yeah, that's too wide. Sorry. Oh, maybe we want to push this a little bit farther so that there's no tangents. I don't like it when 3 blocks meet like that. I find it very odd. Well, that feels nicer. Makes it feel a little bit steeper too. And then we just continue that, I guess. This might be a little bit more of a ridge like that. We may have to adjust this a little bit. And this is honestly just going to be attached straight to the ground. Like, I don't think there's going to be any giant epiphany there. This is also not going to stay like this. I think it's a little bit too chunky. Oh man, with all the ink sacs I get, it's a little bit crazy. Ah. So that goes there. That's a little bit weird. We might have to increase the height on that. But it feels good coming down. Maybe have to change this one. Yeah. This might just have to get one block taller, which wouldn't be the end of the world. And would alleviate the fact that there's slabs on top of it, which I don't like. We can just go with full blocks like that. That might also get bigger too, which is going to cause problems if I do it. So I think the thing to do here would be to try and mimic at least the start of that arch, or we're going to make our own arch, but it's also going to be like part of the landscape. It's not going to have any air underneath it. It's going to go right up against the dirt, which might be challenging because we've got, we don't have stairs and slabs to work with. So the first block is on this level. That is that. I think what I'll do is I'll just mimic what we've got going up here first. So it was 2.5 blocks. And then after that, we'll make the changes. Not in the dark, we won't, though. Especially with all the mobs that are going to spawn out here in any minute. Another bridge for flying underneath. Absolutely. Why did I use 3 rockets? That's weird. Good stuff. Flyable. Yeah, so then I want to bring this up in an even sort of way to that point up there. And then we'll carve back the landscape to meet it. I guess it could be grass. There's a really good chance it's going to end up being probably moss or something that's all green. But we'll temporarily remove a chunk of it so we can see what we're doing. Right. So we've got 3 there. We've got this archway here. So this is going to be a different arc than the bottom. So let's start here. I'm just using dirt so I can see what I'm doing. And to make this easy, we'll eliminate the slabs. So this becomes 3, 3. This is 2.5. See if that looks good. It's a little bit steep at the start. Yeah, cut off a little bit there. Oh, did I build this in the right spot? Yes, I think I did. Okay. So let's continue up on ones. We've got 1, 1, and then we'll do 2. Do another 2. And then another 2. And 3. See if that helps. I think maybe it's right. I just have to make it a little bit smaller. And the easy way to do that is to just cover it back up. Yeah, I think that feels right. I could try it with one less block there. Oops. That might remove the nice arch that I had going on. No, I think that's good. I think that's okay. If anything, it might be a little bit short there. So then let's meet in the middle. And we'll remove the top part. Yeah, it's looking sort of like what I expected. Part of it is you know, you can envision the shape, but then you have to make sacrifices as Minecraft stairs and slabs don't do what you want, or, you know, the height, you know, without doing a ton of landscaping, you know, you end up changing things. So I've got 2, let's go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's probably good. Yeah, I think that's solid. Keep on forgetting about this block right here, though. So the part here that's getting me a little bit stumped is this decoration bit. So I think here I want to shave this part off. Is that hollow? Nope. Yeah, I don't know how much I like that. Oops. I think it has to be a little bit more steep. It still feels like it kind of is embedded there. But I'm not entirely sure I like the angle. It could be better just to have that go straight down and see. Yep, and this could actually maybe even be just pushed a little bit higher. And again, we can come in and tweak the textures later. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. And this maybe doesn't need to be solid. We can do like maybe just 2. Is a little bit more character. And then the question there is like, do we want this to be so thick like that? Or do we want this to be pushed back? Yeah, we might want it to be double thick. We'll have to figure that out. If we do, it might be better to have it come in like that. Overlap it. Kind of attach at the corner. Getting hard to see. Yeah. Actual fantasy. Pixel Raid, I'm a little bit late. I think you'll discover that you are neither late nor early. It's always the same pace around here, so rest assured. You will get a decent idea of what we're doing quite quickly. At least I hope so. Spoiler, it's a bridge. Gasp, we are out of slabs. Nope, I don't need those. Wait, what? You've been building a bridge this entire time? That was the plan. That was the plan. So I'm going to leave the center line for now, and then we're just going to copy what I've got going on over here. Oops, wrong block. looks like we've got a block there. So really it's just a matter of designing one side and then we can finish the rest. Although this needs to be sorted out. Oops. I'll leave the center line for now, just in case. Sometimes you get inspired by stuff like that. You can leave your guides along and they'll end up inspiring what you want to do. Free stuff. Lots of free stuff. Holy crap. I wish there was more uses for ink sacks in the game. I feel like there could be some more fun. Oh, we're full of dirt. So that, so far, is pretty good. You're going to be able to see it from pretty far away. I think it actually looks quite gradual despite how steep it is. It doesn't look like crazy Minecraft blocks because of the fact that we were able to use slabs to get it to go. So it feels good to walk up, I think. This is gonna go. Yeah, I think that could be working quite well. Dark Cluster. Hello, hello. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, this feels a little bit chunky, but I don't know what else we can do. Feels pretty good though. Again, we'll probably have to manipulate this ridge a bit. We could just drop it down. I don't think I want to be too low here though. Whenever you drop down by a meter, you end up really changing your view. You know? So if I drop down, I probably don't want to drop down until about here. So we could end up just cutting this down here and pulling this back here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this stone. Maybe I should consider that too. I guess it probably could end up being like bricks. It's probably going to be bricks until it hits the hill there. Oh, you've come to play. Okay. So I made the mistake of putting these torches kind of like right in the middle of where I want to walk. But yeah, the only thing I'm not crazy about right now is that I really feel like when you come down here, you're looking this way as opposed to seeing the town in your peripheral. So I may end up changing the course of this road to be a little bit more like straight on. That just unfortunately means you don't see any of that. So we'll have to consider maybe stripping the hill back a little bit. And let's just pull this back as far as we can right now without making too much work for ourselves. Whoops. So yeah, I'm really not sure yet how to handle the top of this, but I think we're doing all right. Let's continue this on. Now here, it's probably going to be a little bit wider. Yeah, I always try to repair stuff with like zombies and different, you know, mobs. If they come straight up to you, like I might as well kill them and at least save myself a trip, you know, whenever I can, because it's not a short trip to the Nether to fix everything. I'm just going to fill this in with stone for now. Just kind of quickly get that sorted, and then oh, just a little bit more. Storm Dance, you're free from the lurk. Thanks for hanging out for so long. Appreciate it. So you can see where I'm kind of pushing the road and how we're going to try and connect it all. And I think that this might be too far south. I think we have to keep it a little bit straighter. Some of that might vary depending on what we end up doing at the top. I am still curious about whether these side pillars are going to be too skinny. We're not going to leave them like forks. They're actually going to be solid. We'll fill them in. I've got some ideas for some decorations and some depth that I want to do there. But I think right now I'm happy with how it feels to walk up it. I like the railing height. I'm disappointed I can't do the smooth stone along the edges, so we'll have to come up with something else. Maybe we'll do smooth stone down like the sides or something. This is just temporary, this middle part here. I don't mind this. It's still a little bit strange. It feels kind of chunky. I feel like I've added quite a lot to the top here. I mean, this could also be changed into just a wall. It doesn't have to be a building. But like I said, that whole thing could shift forward by a bit, so that similar to like this section of wall here, it's a lot more interesting because like every 3 or 4 blocks, it changes the angle. And think here, we've got, what do we have there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, right? So we could do 5 and 6. We could do 3, 3, and 4. We could do a bunch of different things there to kind of make that look a little bit more interesting. The problem is that if we get this too close to this, they're going to attach. So we have to be careful there. But I think that's a fairly solid first crack. You know, like I'm still not sold on this, but a lot of this has to do with texture. Like I'm getting lost in here, but we could easily change the material of the pillars. Like if this is all stone brick, or maybe it's all stone, I don't know. Then these could easily be changed to maybe match the towers a little bit more. Like maybe these are andesite into stone, right? And that could help with all of this. So like stone tower, stone tower, stone tower, stone tower, stone tower. Like we could kind of have that feel like a little bit more of an extension. So we can play around with textures, but generally speaking, I think the form of it is pretty good. Obviously, we did not finish both sides, but I'd rather get one side completely decision made and then just copy it to the other side. I think that's fine. And we'll get rid of some of these tangents and stuff as well. Make the river feel like it's a little bit more kind of, I guess, landscaped a bit. And I want to take this cliff up a little bit higher. And this will look really good when it's covered in like grass and moss and bushes and things, similar to what we've done in other areas, you know, where we've got overgrown things on riverbanks. I think that'll look really cool. Now this, we could probably, I'm wondering if we could even like replace some of this with like deep slate and have like a black kind of cobbly, you know, some sort of rock outcrop there. And that could help these feel really tall. This could be pulled down even farther. And then these would really stand out if some of this was like a really decent rock outcrop. But I don't want to end up replacing the entire landscape. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave things off. I'm going to send you along to Slice Lime, who I believe is playing on their Patreon server. But always a good time to send you on to Slice Lime, obviously a Minecraft developer and a former guest of the Spawn Chunks podcast, one of our most downloaded episodes, if not the most downloaded episode. Enchanted to meet you. Thanks very much for the follow. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Is Friday? For Lego. Yeah, 1 o'clock Atlantic. 3 p.m. or yeah, UTC minus 3 hours. 1 o'clock Atlantic PM. We'll be working on the Imperial Probe Droid. Lots of good fun happening there. You can, of course, subscribe. You can check out Patreon. You can follow me on social media at Joel Duggan. There's a link tree underneath the Twitch VOD that'll just connect you to everything. So very easy to find. And please consider supporting the stream. We're trying to increase our eyeballs. We're also trying to increase our revenue because it is my job. It is my full-time job. So one of the easiest ways and one of the free ways that you can do that is just tell friends. You know, retweet my tweets or just tell a friend, hey, I had a really good time hanging out with Joel on stream. He's doing some cool stuff. I hope you like what I'm doing. And hey, maybe people might learn something. You never know. But the more friends that you bring in, then the better that all channels do. So just remember, it's always a free thing you can do to help out your favorite streamers. That's going to be it for me, folks. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.